Alright, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. This is Great Millstone, Virginia, as always, to give you the latest news, articles, lessons through the spirit and the power of Yahbashim Yashai. And first and foremost, as always, when we give all praises, glory, and honor due to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushai, Bashim, Kakodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, who will extend this truth. And of course, when I say peace and blessings and salutation to your Akamah that has presented truth or the full preserve, to the best abilities, got the full preserve. With that, I'm going to say Shalom. Alright, the title's going to be called, it's like it just had it just one moment. This is going to be called basically about lending and borrowing from brothers, man. And the reason I want to bring this out is because just to get straight to the point, you know, like I said, we talked about how, you know, this truth is supposed to change yourself as a man, you know, and we know that this world, you know, everything revolves around, you know, I'm talking about in this society about money, man. And so, you know, in this, you know, when we be more engirded in the truth, you know, we're supposed to use our money wisely, because the scripture says, even in Ecclesiastes, it says that wisdom is a defense and money is a defense, man. So we have to conduct ourselves even with our money and our finances, man. You know, like for example, now of course, don't get me wrong, like I said, brothers have enough money, you know, to spend it, then they can do what they want, but you shouldn't just constantly be buying bullshit, and that's really not beneficial for you, man. It's a balance, pretty much. Ultimately, it's a balance, man. But another thing is that sometimes we're in situations where, like I said, not every brother is financially stable sometimes. You know, sometimes brothers, you know, may not have maybe a good job as you do, or make a high enough income as any other brothers, man. And so you have to humble yourself with the situation, man. And if a time where a brother needs help, you know, you should lend him in a hand, man. It shouldn't be a second thought, man. Or you shouldn't have that mindset of, oh, well, I could give you a certain money, I'm going to need it back at a certain time. You know, we're not, like I said, we're not Edomites. We're not like, okay, we don't do how Esau does, man. You know, usually, man. Hey, the scripture talks about usually, man, in the commandments, man. You know, of course, but the scripture does say you're supposed to pay him back, but the scripture says that if he doesn't pay it back for a while, you should forget about it. I forgot what the scripture says. I think it's in Deuteronomy. Exactly. But, yeah, Deuteronomy. But if you can't pay it back, and then you know that you really don't need the money, ultimately you don't need the money back, then it shouldn't be the concern. You know, it should be just, basically put in the back end. You know, the scripture talks about charity. You know, but all in all, like I said, it's to teach us, man, another thing about brotherly love, man, about sharing your arms, sharing your treasure. Even Yahushai, you know, Yahushai didn't have to basically give us the treasure and everything. You know what I mean? He could have kept them to himself. But the fact that Yahushai has so much love and compassion and mercy upon us that he's willing to, be joint heirs unto him, man. You know, so how much more us being examples, man. You know, sharing, like I said, even sharing your secrets, man, about, oh, how do you do this, or how do you do this trade? Can you teach me how to do stuff, this and that? You know, should be shared, you know. This is not how back in the world, like I said, this is not in the world where, like I said, Jake have like a great mindset, but like I said, skills and whatever to make money, but he don't want to teach you. You know, instead what he want to say, hey, man, if you come to this, but hey, man, but you got to give me some money. You know, and that's why one of the reasons why, curses, man. You know, that's what our people don't go nowhere, because our people don't want to share the knowledge. Hey, even this truth is freely given, man. You know, we're not charging anybody. We're not like these other camps, or starter packs, or tiers, or how you say, exclusive Sabbath breakdowns. You know, compared to these other camps, man. Hey, this truth is freely given, man.
Did you say exclusive established breakdowns?
Yeah, exactly.
You see a lot of that, man. That's not true brotherly love. The way you can show true charity, you know, is given this truth in its entirety, you know, with no guile whatsoever.
Yep.
You know?
God.
Yeah, precept.
Go bring it out.
This is Mashalim, also Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 27. It says, "Withhold not good from them to whom it is due." The scripture also going to know to who you do good, roughly paraphrasing.
Okay.
You know, so if it's a brother, you know, you're gonna do good to a brother, you know. But if it's some nigga on the street, you know, he's gonna do something unwise with something, you know, then you wouldn't help him out. All right.
Yeah, kind of. Prime example, like I said, I hate Jake, man. They be in the corners, always begging. Hey, this scripture even says itself. I agree with it, man. It's better for a person to die than rather to beg. Because when you're begging, that's really humiliation, man, at its finest, man. You know, I mean, just picture yourself, man. You just asking people money, like I said. You know that people, as soon as they think of you, because it's crazy. Like I said, as soon as you become homeless, like I said, people just look at you differently, man. Like you low level, you the scum of the earth, and all that stuff, man. And, you know what I mean? And like I said, and basically, it couldn't even be your fault. You know, let's say you lost your job, or you know, you got caught off, man. But the fact that like you in that state, You just need, like I said, man, it's like it's a different mindset. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But so one last thing. But like I said, you got Jake out there that can get opportunity, that can get a job. But what he want to be lazy, man. And you hate people like that. And you know, you give them money, what they gonna do? They gonna buy cigarettes or something, man.
Gotta get their Newport.
Yeah,
Finish it out. It says, when it is in the power slot, I'm reading it over. It says, withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it. Say not unto thy neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give thee when thou hast it by thee. You see, so that's being brotherly. If you got it, you know, give it out. You know, lend it. You know, don't be a nigga and just like hold it to yourself. You know.
It could be vital to that salvation as well, because the scriptures tell you that charity covers a multitude of sin. You know, charity on a lot of levels. You know, you got a lot.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
See, but a lot of Jakes don't understand. You know, yeah, the brother was bringing out. A lot of these Jakes are opportunistic people. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand what a brother is. In other words, you can grow, or a lot of these Jakes can grow up right next door to a guy that they call a friend. But meanwhile, you know, they still have an evil eye towards that man. So even if that man needed money, in the world, friendships were destroyed because of money. You know? But in the truth, that shouldn't even be an issue, ever. It shouldn't even be a factor. Now, we do understand that, you know, if you borrow something, you know, you should pay it back, especially when you say you're going to pay it back.
Yeah, keep your word.
Yeah. But, same thing, and it says, I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you. It says, even in Ecclesiastes, it says, if thou makes a vow, make sure you keep it.
That's it.
Right. But if the brother says, nah, you know, don't worry about it, then don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, according to that brother, it's actually forgiven and forgotten and should never come up again. That's what makes what we have very special. Because if a brother says don't worry about it ever, don't worry about it ever. But in the world, Jake could say, yeah, you know, don't worry about it. But at the next opportune time where he sees an advantage, then it's gonna come up. Then problems start, you know, when people start getting hurt over bullshots. You know? That's all I want to say on that.
Yeah, and another thing is called the Indian giver. You know, you said made that up.
They don't even know what that shit means.
Basically, like I said, you know, they give you something and then they expect something in return.
Right.
You know, like you said before, it's like, hey man, look man, I gave you $500, man. Come on, man.
Which goes into
I need it back. Like damn.
Yeah, right. You know, like which probably the Indians was fucking with these Edomites, and the Edomites tricked them. You know, these, you know, and these brothers were like, nah, y'all changed my mind. I don't want it. You know, hence the name Indian giver. Not knowing what it means, but you know, again, a lot of these Jakes, man, don't understand what true brotherhood is, and that's what it boils down to. They don't know what it's like to love your fellow brother. You know, that's like the crux of it all. You know, because you know, like what you brought out earlier on the last lesson of Montezah, you know, how can you love the Lord that you hadn't seen, but the brother you see every day, you hate him? You know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
You're a walking contradiction over something as petty and vain as money.
That's why the Lord said the money's root of all evil, man.
That's all I got, bro.
And what's even crazy in society is that it's not even real money. It's printed money. It's fiat currency. It's paper.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. But 2/3 of Jake, man. Like I said, they kill even over $5 or a couple of pennies, man. You know, that's how low state we in, man.
Oh, can I say this?
Go on.
I was watching a video of a ninja woman who was a stripper. You know, they got these videos where, you know, they show a ninja woman showing how much she'll make in a week, day by day. You know this ninja woman. And this ninja woman was like, here's $800. You know, having a stack of ones. Here's $700. Here's $500 on Tuesday. And you know what I'm saying? And then when Sunday roll around, that's $7,700 and X amount of dollars. Not realizing that money ain't worth the paper it's printed on.
Okay.
And it's under her mattress.
Okay.
Or under their mattress.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I wanted to bring out. You know,
Yeah.
It's tangible value.
Yeah,
Even the money you make, you know, IRS can take from up under you with the snap of a finger if you do something they don't agree with.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
the true riches, you know, like this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we're given. You know, it teaches you. It teaches you all things. You know,
Yeah.
It can even teach you hey, how to make money. You know?
It can.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Hey, the scripture says, "Hey, some men are honored by their skills, some men are honored by their riches."
Yeah.
But we know that in times to come, like I said, all this money ain't gonna be worth nothing.
That's right.
The scripture says what? It says what? Men shall be tried as gold, man. Men shall be more precious than fine gold, man.
Yeah.
Roughly paraphrasing, you know what I mean? Those are gonna be those true men, those quote unquote high value men, the men of the Lord. Lord, when we part of those men, you know, because what? We're gonna have the keys to salvation. But but we digress though. But yeah, man, we're gonna talk about why it's important, you know, for finances when sharing with brothers, and basically how to conduct yourself in the world, man. When you get a certain amount of finances, because sometimes, you know, when you like to get a certain amount of money, you get too big for, man. You know, but you can go ahead and read it.
The book of Sirach, chapter 29 and verse 1. He that is merciful will lend unto his neighbor, and that neighbor being your fellow brethren.
Mm-hmm.
Not you know, these other heathen nations. And he that strengthens his hand keepeth his commandments. Keepeth the commandments. So lend to thy neighbor in the time of his need, and pay thou thy neighbor again in due season. You know, and like I said, you know, that's all well and good, but if the person you lend the money from say don't worry about it, you know, it should never be an issue ever again. You know. Verse 3: keep thy word and deal faithfully with him, and thou shalt always find the thing that is necessary for thee.
Oh, Con, hold on real quick. Let me get this precept. This is Deuteronomy 15 and 8, and it says, "But thou shalt open thine hand wide unto him, and shall surely lend him sufficient for his need and that which he wanteth. Beware that there be not a thought in thy wicked heart, saying, seventh year, the year of release is at hand, and thine eye be evil against thy poor brother."
Yeah, because you'll have certain guys like that where you be like, man, especially in that time, let me go ahead and get this up out of him before this 7-year release is up.
Exactly.
I gotta chase his ass down to find this money.
Exactly.
You know. Hey, and you got jakes that are like that.
Okay.
Forgetting the brotherhood of it all.
Yeah, you know, next thing you know, you getting text messages. Hey, man, you You know what I mean?
Start talking about the weather and shit.
Yeah.
You funny. Okay.
Yeah, you know, you start watching what brothers buying, what brothers do.
Right. You funny.
What's some nice Jordans you got,
right?
You funny. Yeah, that's Jake. That's funny.
I'm serious, man. That's just what we do in the world, you know?
Oh, as a matter of fact, prime example is with the Ninja Woman. You know, when somebody was saying, oh, you know what I mean, they got money to buy a Beyonce concert, but they don't got money to pay their rent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was
exactly
funny.
My point.
That was funny. Okay.
Exactly. I can't tell you how many videos I saw on whatever, you know, the person who's owed money finally runs up on the guy who owed him the money, and you know, he's standing behind him. Hey, bro, you gotta run the pockets. You gotta run the pockets.
Okay.
You owe me this money. You sitting here at Taco Bell. You gotta run the pockets.
Okay.
But you know,
it just shows how much we've sunken you know, as a nation of what we used to be. You know, hey, the Lord made us a beautiful vine, unto Him. You know, but now we've become a degenerate plant where a man's willing to kill another man over $20.
Yeah, come.
You know,
Ain't that some shit? Come.
And yeah, a little bit more. And thou givest him naught, and he cry unto the Lord against thee, and it shall be sent unto thee.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Going back to Sirach chapter 29 and verse 4. Verse 4. Many, when a thing was lent to him, reckon it to be found, and put them to trouble that helped him. Yeah, you know, so if you... Let me read that again. Many, when a thing was lent them, reckon it to be found, and put them to trouble that helped him. Till he has received, he will kiss a man's hand. Essentially, he'll kiss his...
Yeah, kiss an ass.
He'll kiss your ass until you get what he wants back. He ain't gonna piss you off so you be down. And for his neighbor's money, he will speak submissively, but when he should repay, he will prolong the time and return words of grief and complain of the time. Yo, bro, I ain't got it. Yo, I just lost my job last week.
Yeah. Hits with all the extras.
My wife ain't get her food stamps. Hold up, bro. I lent you cash.
Yep.
Salakia, man.
That's the wicked, finding every excuse. When it comes to dealing with your brother, the best thing you can do is treat him as yourself. And if you have any love for yourself, you're not gonna lie to yourself. Why bear false witness to your brother? You know, and to add on to that, men will get in a prideful state and ask for something. You know, even if they ask for something more, they can't, you know, come up with that talent. You know.
But let Jake play around with E. You know the E?
Yeah, he ain't gonna do that.
Nah.
He'll charge him interest.
Yeah.
He'll charge him user. You see?
Yeah.
He'll make sure that he'll make it to work and work every day he's supposed to until his check day comes so that he will get his money back. He's in control of all of that. Okay, you want to take a day off? You take a vacation time or sick time? I'll put you on the books for one. You ain't missing a day because you still owe me money. You know? He'll actually come and get you.
Yeah, he will.
But Jake will actually owe you money and then complain about not getting hours because, you know, he wanted to take a day off the day after the Super Bowl because he was irresponsible or whatever.
Right.
But, you know, that's what Jake do. Man, I ain't working enough hours this week. Man, you know, I hit you up next week. But not realizing that what you're doing this week can hold that man up that week.
You
know?
Breaking a bond.
Yeah.
And what happens like that? What happens? You lose trust like that. You know, that's one thing too. You gotta understand. You know what I mean? It's like I said, it builds connection, man. You know, and let's say for example, like I say, even with me, you know what I mean, with my business, you know what I mean. I try to be respectful and, you know, with my mechanics because I know that at the end of the day I'm gonna need them because first of all it's hard, you know, like I said, because you know the shortage and everything. And the fact, you know, I mean, he looked out for me, and then he, you know, I mean, and he said, you know what, and he said, you know what, you don't got to pay me back right now. And I said, but he knows from Labab, you know, from his heart that he know that I'll pay him back, and which I did, and I pay him back. You know what I mean? He ain't got to worry about it. I said, dang man, I hope he pay me back, you know, or what happens then you lose a customer, and then, like I said, then you got to look for, like basically, like I said, you don't want to build a bad reputation.
Yeah.
Ultimately, man.
Just talk about a good report. You know?
Press the brake.
Yeah, come. Okay.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No. Press the brake.
Okay. Oh,
Press
sorry.
that button again.
Okay.
When you hear that boom, just press the brake.
Okay, got you. But yeah, but again, so how much more a brother in a time of need, man? Especially in the last days, you're gonna need a brother that basically you can trust. You know, it talks about what? Even it says, roughly paraphrase, it says, accept not a friend so quickly, you know, test and prove him to see if he is even a true brother. You know what I mean? Like in the time of need, you know, if you need help, you know what I mean? Hey, that's just hey man, I got you. You know, hey, yeah, you know, hey, even a treasure, man.
That's right.
That was it on that.
Anybody else got anything?
Yeah, I got a quick one. This is Luke 6:43. It's a lot. It says, well, that's not the one I wanted. Let me get it real fast.
But yeah, man, you know, like I said, in the time of need, man, like I said, man, you're gonna need people that you can trust in the time of need, man, because you never know when you're gonna need them, man. Yeah. You know, you'd be like I said, you'd be a fool to lose a good friend, man, because now nobody trusts you, man, and now basically you're all by yourself.
Yeah.
I got it.
Go ahead.
This is Matthew, also Matthew chapter 12 and verse 33. It says, damn, it's not the one either. But basically, the scripture goes into a tree being known by its fruit, you know.
Okay.
And, you know, like the brothers in Orlando going to how, with that fruit representing your actions, you see, you know, you can tell what type of person someone is, how they spend their money. You see, because money is it's exemplary of what type of person you are, you know.
God, yeah, you can show on your transactions about the things you buy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was it on that.
Okay.
You said something you want to say? Something?
Yeah, just going into how you were saying money is a defense and wisdom is a defense, you see. So you could tell how someone, like the brother said, the transactions, you know, if someone is spending their money with wisdom, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. You can go back.
Going back to the book of Sirach, chapter 29 and verse 6. If he prevail, he shall hardly receive the half, and he will count as if he had found it. If not, he has delivered him of his money, and have
deprived him.
Salah. If not, he have deprived him of his money, and he have gotten him an enemy without cause.
There you go. Like I said, now you got a bad reputation. Now you got an enemy now. Yep. Now he can't trust you.
Yeah.
Like I said, you definitely don't want to. Like brother said, you don't want to break bonds with people, man. Like I said, so you want to build relationships, man.
Yep.
Especially in the time of need, man, because you never know. Like I said before, you're gonna need that person. Right. Now you can't go to him no more. Now you telling everybody. You say, yeah, man, don't trust that dude over there, man. I gave him money, and he never gave me money. Gave me my money back. You know. And then you know that Israel like to talk. Jake know everybody. So you know how people roll. It's like, yeah, man, that dude over there, man. Watch out for that dude, man. Go ahead, you can go ahead.
Jake will find it here to talk to. Reading on. He payeth him with cursings and railings, and for honor he will pay him disgrace. That's what you were just going into.
Mm-hmm.
Many therefore have refused to lend for another man's ill dealing, fearing to be defrauded.
And that's why even in society, that's why nobody want to give nobody nothing. You know? So I don't know you. Why should I give you money?
Yeah, right.
You know, it's my money. I earned it. I don't know you. I don't got to give you nothing. Yeah, that's why people don't want to donate. No, nothing. You know, like I said, everybody's selfish. You know, I got it. You know, it's all about me. I got the money. Hey, you know, work by their own selves, man. Hey, that's what it says in what? This should be what? Lovers of their own selves. Boasters, pride, is black. You know, all this stuff. They don't want to share their knowledge. Nothing. Everybody's out for themselves, man. You know, all that holding hands and stuff that they talk about, all that shit is fake. And like I said, people really gonna see it. And like I said, in the time of trouble, man, because every man for himself. The strong survive and the weak die. Everyone should cling to their own kind. Jay gonna learn too. 2/3 holding hands with everybody. You gonna see that the other nations they're gonna stick to themselves.
Yeah. Especially the ninja woman.
Yeah.
She got a rough lesson to learn. Because
what's that scripture saying? What should be trotting down the streets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a 7 and 10.
Yeah, come.
Yeah. Because the ninja woman has actually built her fortune on money.
Mm-hmm. Ease money.
Yeah, ease money. So when Eve's done lending through usury, what do you think's gonna happen to Eve? Eve's just gonna crumble. Jake ain't got nothing, to begin with. So when one Jake lend to another Jake and they start having monetary disputes, it's simply because they really don't have the money to lend to begin with. In a lot of cases, you know, because you're paying Peter to pay Paul. You know, a lot of Jakes lend out half their rent. You sure I'm gonna get it back on Tuesday? No, you know, I seen it happen. And then when Tuesday roll around, they ain't got their money, and Jake, who lent the money, can't pay his rent. Now he got to get a loan from somebody, payday loan or whatever. You know?
Got a precept.
Okay.
This is a Bon Sirach, chapter 4 and verse 31. It says, "Let not thine hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay." And just going into what you were saying, like you said, bro. Basically, it ruins your reputation. You see, so if you say, "Hey, I can pay you on this date," then it needs to be on that date. You know.
Oh, same. As a matter of fact, you can look at Easter. Like I said, what happens if you don't pay your bills or your account or your whatever? What happens?
Yes,
What happens?
yeah.
It messes with your credit. You know, and then like I said, and then when you go to the bank, you say, "Hey, I need more money. I need to pay it back." They're gonna look and say, "No, we can't approve you because your credit low." So they know that you can't pay back your stuff, man. And like I said, stuff like that, like I said, that stay on East record. That was it on that.
Verse 8. Does anybody have anything else? Verse 8. Yet have thou patience with a man in poor estate, and delay not to show him mercy.
Yeah, like brother said. Now, of course, like I said, not everybody can get the money like right away, man. Like I said, some people can't get it like that. And that's why you shouldn't worry about it, man. Especially if you have enough money, like I said, for yourself, like I said, you should be in the back burner, man. It's like, man, it's all good. Don't worry about it, man. Because like I said, not everybody can pay it back within a week. You can keep going.
Come. Verse 9. Help the poor for the commandment's sake.
That's the main reason why, for the commandment's sake. You can keep going.
And turn him not away because of his poverty.
That's right.
Lose thy money for thy brother and thy friend, and let it not rust under a stone to be lost.
Yeah, don't hide it somewhere. As a prime example is the story with Ananias and Sapphira, man. What happened? When I think it was Peter said, "What, lose everything?" And what happened? It's what his wife was talking to her husband, saying, let's store something, right? So they won't know. Y'all know the story. And then what happened? Yeah. They lost the ghost right there in front of them, in front of the apostles.
Yeah. Holy Spirit was a witness against them.
Yeah.
Come. Verse 11.
Okay.
Oh.
No, that was it.
Come. Verse 11. Lay up thy treasure according to the commandments of the Most High, and it shall bring thee more profit than gold. Shut up arms in thy storehouses. It shall deliver thee from all affliction.
That's right. Charity, love, all that stuff, man. Like you said, charity covers a multitude of sins.
It shall fight for thee against thine enemies, better than a mighty shield and strong spear. Because when you do these things in the name of the commandments, you're doing it through love. Because the scriptures say, "If thou love me, keep my commandments."
Okay.
So if you do these things for the commandments' sake, that's showing the Lord that you love him.
Yeah. God.
And if you should, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was saying last thing. Like I said, another thing I wanted to add on too is, like I said, there's nothing wrong with saving money, because sometimes, like I said, the state that we're in, as you can see, everything is going up, man. So it's always best, like I said, they even store, enough money to, like I said, for a savings account, man, for things get rough sometimes, man. Like I said, instead of, like the brother said, instead of buying shit, dumb shit, instead of you saving, little by little, that stuff adds up over time. When things will really get expensive, when foods get scarce, where your bread maybe like $20, $30, and you have enough to save, hey, man, hey, you know what I mean? Hey, that can get you out of predicament.
Oh, and if I must say this, and I'm backing up what the brother's saying as well, there's nothing wrong with saving money, but there's also nothing wrong with having a little cash on hand.
God.
Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. You know, if you could get cash, small bills specifically, get yourself at least whatever you can in small bills and keep that aside. Don't touch it. Have it for a rainy day, because when this economy collapses, it's gonna happen so fast. Your cards ain't gonna work. Your debit machines ain't gonna work. Nothing's gonna work. But you would at least have a day or two of being able to use cash. But hopefully you ain't got to go out there in the rut of this bullshit that's about to happen, and do anything. But if you did have to, keep cash on hand before it gets chaotic. Small bills. What I mean by small bills: 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s. Keep it simple. So that way, if you did have to buy a loaf of bread for $10, you got $10 to put on the bread.
Yeah. Hey, see, that's wisdom. And that's speaking for all of us. Yeah, calm. There you go.
Verse 14. Anybody got anything?
No.
Verse 14. An honest man is surely for his neighbor, and he that is impudent will forsake him. Forget not the friendship of thy surety, for he hath given his life for thee. A sinner will overthrow the good estate of his assurity. And that's the time that we're coming into. A sinner ain't gonna care about how and what you're doing. A sinner is just gonna be able to do what he needs to do in the flesh at that moment.
God. Yep, seize the opportunity.
Yeah, he's not gonna care about how you treat your brother with love, because he doesn't have that.
Yeah, that covetous spirit, that a lot of Jews have. Always wanting what the next man has. It's because it's appealing to the eye. So he's willing to do anything and everything, to get what the next man has.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that spirit in ancient times. I mean, of course, Jake always been wicked, but it was more frowned upon then. It's held. Jake look at it as cool, to hate on the next man. Well, not they don't think it's cool, but Jake hate on the next man just because of what they got, no matter what. And that's part of this conversation we going into too. When it comes to being brotherly, man, we embodying this. It's as they say in the world, mikasa, sukasa, with everything.
It's almost a given.
Yeah, for sure.
It's almost a given to expect Jake gonna hate you for what you got.
Yeah.
This nigga.
Yeah.
Bigger than Navy Federal. You know what I'm saying?
They find that kind of
Jake will find something to hate you about. Meanwhile, he's had every opportunity that you had, because you both go through the curses. Time and chance happens to all men. We understand that. But Jake ain't doing nothing but being a ninja, hating you because you exuding wisdom, trying to get knowledge.
And they don't understand that. The scriptures tell you, you don't work, you don't eat. And so you got
Jake would rather steal it.
Shit.
Salaki, I ain't mean to cut you off.
Now we coincided in the spirit, huh? Good.
Verse 17. And he that is of an unthankful mind will leave him in danger that delivered him. That's a nigga.
For real.
That's a nigga.
Yeah.
That's a Denzel Washington training day nigga. Come with me over there, these houses, so I can check something out. I know you owe me some money, but don't worry about it. You can use what you owe me as a down payment. I just want you to come with me. Meanwhile, he put your life in danger over $5. That's a nigga. And it's a lot.
That's why
we get banged for that.
Yeah, that's part of trying to free. As we talk about,
Kind of. Verse 18. Sureship has undone many of good estate, and shaken them as a wise of the sea. Mighty men had it driven from their houses, so they are wandered among strange nations. A wicked man transgresseth, Salak, a wicked man transgressing and Salak, a wicked man transgressing the commandments of Yahweh Shem Yahushai shall fall into suretyship, and he that undertaketh and followeth other men's businesses for gain shall fall into suits. Help thy neighbor according to thy power, and beware that thou self fall not into the same. And that's what I was saying about how Jacob lent out his rent money, knowing he shouldn't do that. You know, to help out a friend that would say, I'll pay him Monday. Meanwhile, he borrowed the money so he could pay his rent. Meanwhile, you asked out on your rent because you gave it to him. That's what that scripture's saying.
They can.
Help thy neighbor according to thy power, and beware that thou falleth not into the same.
Yeah, so if you know that, like I say, if you know that, you're not sure yourself that you can pay your own bills, then don't do it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't got it, so you ain't got it.
Yeah,
Gone. The chief thing. Anybody got anything?
No.
Okay. The chief thing for life is water, and bread, and clothing, and an house to cover shame. Better is the life of a poor man in a cottage than delicate fare in another man's house.
That's true, man. It's not in the worst when you poor, you got nowhere else to go. So you got to go to a brother's house. But you know that, let's say for example, you got a woman, you know that can cause up strife, man. A woman saying, man, he been here for about a week. He need to get his own place. But of course, you argue with your wife because you good brother, you defend his side. But at the same time, though, she's right too because it's supposed to be both of your house. Like I said, you shouldn't be in another man's private, in a private house, man. Because sometimes, sometimes what they want to do their own business or whatever, stuff like that. But you're in the way sometimes, man. It's embarrassing sometimes. That's why the Lord's saying that. That's why the scripture says, that's why scripture says, woe to them that live house to house, man. That's why even like I said with Abraham and Lot, even though at one point they had their own lands, but what they were together because what they wanted, the maids and servants, they were fighting each other. Said no, this is my master land, this and that. So that's why they had to separate. Every man should have his own space, man. But here in Babylon, they don't do that shit. That's why you got these apartments and close together and shit. Like they're here in another man's doing all this stuff, man. But
yeah, man, you shouldn't hear another man's business. You shouldn't have an inkling as to what a man's doing in his house. That's why they make walls as thin as they do and houses or homes as close as possible. You shouldn't be living on top of another family. It's like, this is a wicked kingdom. You'll be glad when it go.
You had brothers like that before. They tell you, yeah, man, I used to live in another brother's house before. They tell you. Like I said, hey, even the elders were, they even said in something that was homeless, at some point.
Yeah, I heard him say that too.
Hey, man, like I said, man, shoot, I can see it myself, man, being homeless, that's a scary thing, man. It's a tough challenge, man. That's why I said, like I said, hey, even us, hey, we're going to have to leave our homes too at some point, man.
Yeah. That's why the scripture
vagabonds. No, I'm not saying, hey, scripture call us vagabonds. Like I said, what? All of us, we had to leave Egypt. Hey, we had to leave our home in Jerusalem, doing abomination, desolation, and all that stuff, man. We always left our homes. May keep going.
Because very soon, we're going to have to leave all of this behind. The money, the people you lent money to, in most cases, your homes, and in some cases, even your family. That's why the scriptures say, gird yourself as a man, for I will require of thee. You don't know what the Lord has in store for you at the end of the day, but you do know that you're going to go through what the Lord wants you to go through. And you just got to prepare your mind for whatever. You could be at a concentration camp because you know how Esau do. You like to knock on your door 3-4 o'clock in the morning when most people are asleep. But we are not asleep. We are not like those that sleep during the night. Because we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, nor his monetary system, nor his ninjas that he created, or even his nigglets. So I'm just fading. Anybody got anything else?
Let's try to finish this off.
Verse 23. Be it little or much, hold these things. I can't read that word.
Contented.
Contented, that thou hear not the reproach of thy house. For it is a miserable life to go from house to house. For where thou art a stranger, thou darest not open thy mouth. Yeah, you know, here it is, you a man, and you can't even have anything to say in another man's house. How could you be a man in that case? You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of, it makes sense.
You have nothing to say. Anyhow, verse 25. Thou shalt entertain and feast, and have no thanks. Moreover, thou shalt hear bitter words. Come thou stranger, and furnish a table, and feed me out of that thou hast ready. Give place, thou stranger, to an honorable man. My brother cometh to be lodged, and I have need of mine house. I had that happen to me. My sister's coming home, so she's gonna need a bedroom back. You gotta go. Verse 28. These things are grievous to a man of understanding. The upbraiding of house room and reproaching of the lender.
Yeah. And that's the point, man, about, you know, situations like that, man, whether it be money or going to somebody else's place or brother's place, man, whatever, man. And it says, and that's the title, man, show mercy and lend, man. You know, about how to conduct yourself, man. So now, you know, situation where you may know somebody or yourself, whatever. So now now we know these things, man. And why it's important about how we conduct ourselves as men of the Lord, man. That you know, that's pretty much it, just straight to the point. So hopefully, like I said, maybe we learn from this situation, man. Like I said, all the answers we want, everything's in the scriptures, man. It's just us reading it and also having understanding, man. And sometimes, hey, man, some of us were those people, man. So with that, hopefully brothers was edified again. You know, this is Great Milson, Virginia, as always, to give you the latest news, articles, lessons to the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shimi Ashai. And as always, first and foremost, we need to give all praises, glory, and honor due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kokodash. Say double honors to the elders of Great Mills, doing you all for teaching of the truth, and of course, peace and blessings, salutation to you. I command that is pleasing the truth to the full earth, salute to the best ability, scattered throughout the full earth. With them to take Kwame Yasharallah, Wafa Babal, Shalom.